What impact is the economy having on the crime rate? I'm Jill Horner. This is Comcast Local Edition. With me this hour is Todd Stevens, Assistant District Attorney with the Montgomery County District Attorney's Office. Thanks for being with us.
Oh, thanks for having me. I appreciate the
Are
opportunity.
you seeing a correlation between the downturn in the economy and the crime rate?
Absolutely. Sort of a perfect storm has evolved here with the economy taking a downturn and the price of gold moving up, because that is simply an invitation for those who are out of work or down on their luck and want a little extra money to seek out gold, and they're finding it in the form of people's homes. So we see a huge increase in the amount of residential burglaries that are occurring. Oddly enough, these are occurring during the day in broad daylight, and these thieves are running through neighborhoods and sometimes hitting multiple houses in a neighborhood or community all in one day while people are at work. And it's something that the public needs to be aware of, and neighbors need to be aware of, because that's the only way that these are going to be prevented. We need homeowners to make sure their doors and windows are locked, and we need neighbors who see those unusual people or see those cars that just shouldn't be there, that keep circling around the neighborhood, to give a call to their local police department and let them know there's some unusual activity in their neighborhood.
And one of the really scary things about a burglary is not only do you lose your property and your sense of security, but the crimes can often escalate if you do happen to be home.
Sure. These folks typically are hoping not to run into any of the homeowners, but on occasion they are surprised to find someone at home, and it can have tragic results. I'm prosecuting a case in Montgomery Township where that happened. Fellows went to the house to burglarize it, to obtain money and property, and when they encountered the homeowner, they killed him. And so it quickly went from a burglary to a murder. And there are tragic consequences when those people, the criminals, run into the homeowners.
You mentioned the rising price of gold and the downturn in the economy leading to more burglaries from people's homes, but what about copper? This is something that we've been hearing about as well.
Yeah, the new pawn shop is sort of the scrapyard, because you see these people who are going out and they're stealing copper from contractors and builders, sometimes even right off the front of houses. If there's a copper downspout or gutter, we've had cases where they're actually just ripping the gutter right off of the house. They take it to a scrapyard so that they can get the money for the copper. And again, the uptick in the price of copper is making it more attractive for these criminals and these bands of thieves to just go out and grab what they can.
It's another issue where neighborhood vigilance could potentially make a difference, but what about thefts in parked cars? Many of us leave our items in our cars when we run into stores or even in front of our own houses.
That's it. We've seen a rash of these as well, and it's the iPods, the cell phones, the navigation systems that we all have, and we just leave laying around our car. And again, these folks just roll through a neighborhood and they look in the cars, and then when they see something they want, they typically open up the door because the car was unlocked, or sometimes break into the car and just grab everything they can. And when you leave those valuable items out in plain view, you're really inviting a criminal to come and take them.
Okay, some important information and a way for neighbors to really band together to make a difference in the safety of their own neighborhoods. But I want to talk to you about something that kids may not necessarily know has negative implications. Kids send text messages. They're on the internet all the time, but there are some negative implications that come along with sexting. Explain to us exactly what this means.
Absolutely. Sexting is the sending of explicit text messages or even nude photos. And teenagers, unfortunately, are engaging in this all the time these days, and that too can lead to tragic consequences. Your viewers can just Google the name Jessie Logan from Ohio and learn about a teenage girl who unfortunately sent some photos to her boyfriend. She became the subject of tremendous ridicule and bullying from her school, classmates, and others. It ultimately ended in her mother finding her having hanged herself in her own closet. And there are tragic results when these kids engage in this, not to mention the criminal repercussions. I mean, technically speaking, possessing photos of someone under the age of 18 engaged in those types of activities is possessing child pornography, which can lead to criminal ramifications for those possessing or transmitting those images.
Well, thanks so much. Some important information, and kids need to be aware of this because they could actually be prosecuted even if they are minors.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you so much.
No problem.
We've been talking with Todd Stevens, the Assistant District Attorney for Montgomery County. I'm Jill Horner for Comcast Local Edition.